Oh my god, it's Gran Turismo. Cars and cars and cars and cars and cars. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's 1997. Well, 1998 by the time I became aware of it. And only having been exposed to Mario Kart, Top Gear, and Test Drive, Gran Turismo was legit. Even compared to Test Drive and Need for Speed, both older titles, GT had a level of difficulty which demanded more respect. Or at least more careful attention. Yeah, some of those games had physics lending to gameplay, but none so robust as GT. Gran Turismo is the archetype of the racing sim genre, and probably wouldn't exist because execs at Sony were probably like, "Oh, those plebs will never give their scraps for a thing like this. Don't you know video games are for children? What child do you know has ever heard of a, Aston Martin? Well, in fairness, I haven't heard of it either. Must be a car for a poor person." Kazunori Yamauchi, the director of Polyphony Digital, oversaw the development of 2 games prior to Gran Turismo 1, Motorsport Grand Prix 1 and 2. These games, though aesthetically marketable on the safe side, involved dynamic physics which were largely absent in games during the time. Video game publishers still had the arcade mentality well into the 1990s. Well, guess what, bitch? You're wrong! Despite being made in the era of DK Racing, Wipeout, or Cruising USA, Gran Turismo 1 sold a fuck ton of copies. Oh my god, it was brilliant. Oh my god, it was amazing. Oh my god, you've never seen anything like it. Gran Turismo was an idea which introduced players to an alternative to the kart racing genre. There's even an arcade mode. While not having quite the rigors of dynamic physics, it serves as a gradient between 2 different gaming mindsets. I can race cars. No, not some go-kart or whatever. Like a Viper? A Toyota Supra? A Camaro? A TVR? The fuck is a TVR? I can upgrade my cars. I can add turbochargers. I can upgrade the suspension and adjust it to improve the handling. I can buy a full racing level gearbox and use physically impossible ratios. I can start a race hearing the crowd cheering like they're at a concert. It's pretty neat, but whoa, hold your Honda, son. We have 24 license tests we need you to pass before you can race with the big boys. Fucking what? Oh man, these tests are hard. I can't finish under this time. It's impossible. But I gotta do it. Keep on trying. That experience is what distinguished Gran Turismo from other racing or driving games at the time. Every nuance and revision and commitment necessary placed the game on a much higher shelf than its contemporaries. Driving with too much cavalier invoked the consequence of the physics simulation. The difference between entering a turn too fast or too slow, apexing the turn too late or too soon, and getting on the accelerator too harshly upon exit could result in a spin-out if your car is powerful enough. Oh my god, 30 laps on Route 11? Guess I'll use soft racing tires to give myself the best possible odds. Yeah, motherfucker! First place! What now, bitch? What now? Well, what the fuck? That's over half the race and there's no way I can win even if I get them changed. That's really setting me back, bro. So as you can see, tire wear is a variable too, at least in endurance races. The most direct challenge is the practice and mastery of your car and subsequently modifying it, or your next car, to compete in more challenging races. Choosing a car and evaluating how it navigates a turn again and again and again and again. Can it handle better? Let me adjust the struts and the doodads. Okay, a little better. It handles okay at stock horsepower. If I add a turbo or flux capacitor, how's it gonna handle at even higher speeds? And sometimes you don't find out until you're in a race. This isn't Mario Kart, okay? But you're not rolling in a Viper just yet. What do you think this is, Tokyo Drift?
The Red Evo's yours.
Here's 10,000 smackers to get you a Silvia or a Mirage or an AE86. I don't care about Initial D. There's a bunch of challenges ahead of you unless you get sick of A License Test 3 and decide it's not worth the bothering for. But if you want an Aston Martin without doing a spot race 50 times, it's time to get good. The race menus have a series of different conditions. Front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, UK versus US, etc. So you can expect your acclimation to your 115 horsepower drift missile to go out the window. There's an event where you don't even get to use a modded car, period. Say hi to the NSX in this one because it will be a constant thorn in your gooch. Definitely one of the more difficult races in this game, unless you're a cheapskate and use a Viper to eviscerate everyone. Beyond this, there are some pretty challenging series including Super GT and LM Spec cars with over 600 horsepower on a bunch of tracks. So that's it. Now that you understand Gran Turismo, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Gran Turismo 2! So, like in the wake of most successful productions, Polyphony Digital whipped up this sequel in the 2 years following GT1. I remember seeing this in a gaming magazine and being like, wow, gee willikers, it's all...
No, ain't shit.
But without the sarcasm. Over 500 racing machines from world-class manufacturers? Holy gosh darn jumpin' Jehoza fuck yeehaw! Look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit! This is a double jewel case, a thing you only need if you're trying to collect the complete live discography of Grateful Dead or something. Not only are there 2 discs between arcade mode and simulation mode, but 2 manuals? 2! 2, bitch! We're not fucking around anymore, bro. One CD ain't enough to contain 500 cars, benchmark 3D graphics, a killer soundtrack from star-studded bands, intense two-player racing, over 20 highly detailed tracks, all-new rally racing, in-depth simulation mode, and insane arcade mode with power slides, burnouts, jumps, and excessive speeds. I don't think the words insane and excessive function congruently in the same statement if insane arcade mode is being presented as a positive thing. Who the fuck wrote this? So with this massive expansion taking place between the first and second games, new aspects of gaming, content, and challenge, it's worth examining the differences between the two. So here we are in the simulation mode main screen, and visiting the different cities reveals the manufacturers. Obviously, with there being far more manufacturers, they understood it necessary to split the map into 5 different screens so everything isn't crammed into one. Like the first game, this is really just a fancy pants menu. So one of the earliest things I noticed when navigating the map. Why does it take so long? I mean, compared to GT1. And if you think this is no big deal, I'll just show you a direct comparison of buying parts between GT1 and 2. Like, this shit can get real old, real quick. It's been suggested that this delay is to loosely emulate the drudgery of doing business. Literally going here or there takes time. But it's just a menu, guys! If it takes 1.5 seconds for the menu to change, then it should take 15 minutes for a race to start, right? See, I originally figured it was due to the bitch ton of cars. And I still hope that's the case, because if not, the devs wasted their fucking time on a feature designed to waste your fucking time. Moving on! There's a lot more events now, spanning a lot of different challenges. There are now many which have different classes of cars. Engine power, touring cars, muscle, stuff like that. And manufacturers have a selection of one-off challenges as well. As the back of the box said, there's an off-road rally thing too. More of a footnote because it's probably 5% of the total roster of challenges. There are more tracks as well. New ones like Seattle and Laguna Seca. A lot returned from GT1, although I was always disappointed Special Stage Route 11 didn't make it back. On to cars! Gran Turismo 2 introduces a wide gamut into the fray, expanding the selection with European and American makers. Jaguar, Alfa Romeo, Plymouth, Ford, Vector. Holy cannoli, must I go on? But, given your limited initial balance of game money, expect to find most of your early options in the used car sections, like in the first game. Now, you might think some of these newly added manufacturers have used models to choose from, but no, it's still exclusively Japanese makers. Wait a sec. How many Skylines are they selling in here? Hold on, I need to look at something. Let's go here. Are you kidding me? Wait, there are at least 25 variants of Nissan Skyline, 20 Mazda RX-7, and around 25 Subaru Imprezas? Okay, 500 cars, huh? Let's call it 430 for now. We don't need so many redundant models. What is this, Gran Turismo 4? Okay, so not really 500 cars. But I can appreciate the diligence. If their intent was accurately showcasing the difference between a Mazda RX-7 Type R and RB and RZ, kudos, I guess. But hey, these cars look pretty damn good compared to GT1. The textures are sharper, and key details are added where they are due. The wide variety of makers comes with a much wider variety of cars. A small supply of exotics hidden behind some astronomical price tags. Jaguar XJ220, at least GT1. Porsche at home. Fuck it, I'm ready. Let's do it. Aston Martin Vanquish with a 6-disc CD changer, but oh no! I have to win some creds first. Buy a Civic, do Sunday Cup. Okay, I need a license again, so let's, what? Holy shit, guys, a little overboard, don't you think? That's 50 fucking tests. 60 if you bother getting the super license. But here's a cool thing. If you have a GT1 save on your memory card, you can import the licenses from there and actually play the fucking game. I take this as the devs making subtle acknowledgement they're insane for more than doubling the number of redundant tests involving redundant driving fundamentals. When you finish the test, but with a failing time, it wants you to enter your name so your failure is on the digital record. Sound design was given a great revision after the earlier game. The sounds of engines in general have character now. Conditions like throttle affect the sound better too, because in GT1, letting go of the throttle results in a sound like the ignition was cut. There are a few quirks though. The Viper Coupe sounds like this in GT1. But the RT10, mechanically the same, sounds like this. This quirk appears again in Gran Turismo 2. Okay, overall it's not bad. But this race model Cobra? But to the first game's credit, there was much more emphasis on the sound of turbochargers. And even the type of turbo you have made a difference in the sound you hear. In Gran Turismo 2, the whining turbos were replaced by the sound of pressure building in a blow-off valve. More realistic, but somehow it diminishes that raw feel. On to driving physics then. The physics have evolved after the first game, but if you're fresh off the first game, you might encounter frustration because every track feels like they have a layer of banana oil on it now. It's much easier to break traction than previously, so the general difficulty is raised. It's the thing I have the urge to critique, but in order for that, I need to make an adjacent observation first. Everything in this game is slower than the first. I'll show you what I mean here. It's not just a simulation running at a slower pace. The cars themselves are clearly not as powerful, or there is some aspect of physics present which makes them not as fast. Maybe aerodynamic or mechanical resistance? But that's where my frustration comes from. Not only is it harder to maintain control, it's slower. This is the crux of my critique. Gran Turismo 2 just feels slower. Navigating menus, driving, competing in events, even the killer soundtrack is putting its feet up on the recliner compared to the first games. When the game automatically starts a replay at the end of the race, or even a license test to showcase how you failed, it just feels like a pointless expense of your time. Maybe putting elastic effects on the camera would have helped, but GT1 doesn't have those effects either. Did they feel they had to devote more computational resources to the physics? I don't know. But for these limited faults, there's oodles of stuff. But if this game is indeed the real driving simulator, there are more cars to simulate driving with, and not compete against a Skyline GTR in over 80% of the races in the game. There's a Ford GT90? I want it! Oh, but I can't buy it. What do I gotta do? Win 100 miles of Seattle? Dude! So in the meantime, there's a mod project being developed by people in the Gran Turismo and auto enthusiast communities called Gran Turismo 2 A-Spec. What's standing out the most is the effort to get a lot of iconic cars into the mix, which the original developers were unable or unpermitted to add. I'm thrilled that 20 years after the fact, I can drive some of the cars sorely absent from this game, like Ferraris at Le Mans Racers.
Here we go. Oh my god, the Mercedes has taken off. That's Peter Dumbreck at the wheel.
Most of these cars are prize goodies at the moment, but the community still has me intrigued for the future. If that's your bag, do yourself a service by seeing what they're up to, or you could use the Escudo. Fucking damn it!